I turned my gaming addiction into a system that made me millions trading crypto, and in this video I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it. It all started 20 years ago when I was playing Counter-Strike on my beautiful old computer. Now you have to know that being a geek at this time was not a cool thing at all, but that's not a topic, and I'm not gonna talk about my childhood trauma here because that's not a therapy video. You see, most people, when they play video games, know what they will play a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of this. And then actually, when you want to get good at something, you usually specialize in it. It will never come to someone's mind to do weightlifting on Monday, badminton on Tuesday, Muay Thai on Wednesday, golfing on Thursday, and swimming on Friday, and expect to compete at the Olympics, right? So why would you do that in investments where it's literally something where if you get better than everyone else, you get much better results? And that's how I decide to focus all my energy into one thing, which was Counter-Strike. But then I don't stop at just the game, because stopping at the game would be giving me here. What I did is went even a level further, which is only the same map, which is DDoS 2. And then even a level further, which is with the same weapon on both sides, which give me a lot more skills and knowing on how to use it all the time. And the same applies to investment and crypto, because if you invest a little bit on real estate, a little bit in stock, a little bit in crypto, and how are you going to have so much time to understand all the layers of complexity to be able to compete with someone that focuses only on one thing? And then focusing only on one thing, once you achieve all the skills, the cool thing is that you can decide to add up another arrow like that. And you will see later on how this can be super important. Because what this graph does not show is that, for example, if I just double my knowledge here, it doesn't double your gains. In an attention economy, and even in a capitalistic economy, a 10% gain into something else on the market does not represent that you're going to make 10% more. It's usually 100%. For example, if this YouTube video had 10% more click rate, the views will not be just 10% more. It will be way more. And that's what is happening here. In this investment and the video games, the more you perfect the skills, the more you go. And that's fine, because one of my favorite quotes is, if you wanted the same result as everyone, just do the same thing as everyone. So if you want a different result than most of the people, you have no choice but to do things differently. And who plays a video game that much when they are 12 years, 14 years old? At that time, not many people. But that helped me to know way more about web and everything than any other people. I actually learn English playing Counter-Strike. And what I mean by studying is that everything has different layers. For example, different maps on Counter-Strike. But now, if you follow only one map, only one game, for example, you know what the weapons are doing. You know also how the physics of the game is working. And you know how the map is reacting. Because yeah, on Counter-Strike, you could know where some pieces of the wall, the bullet could go through, some doors will be more resistant, and all those little details, intrinsic details, when shown, you will make the difference and hit that person and maybe win the round. That's the same in crypto. If today you do not know what is on-chain analysis and how to leverage it, for me, that's a sad part, because you're like literally missing the massive edge that crypto gives you. In no other market you are able to know in direct time who is buying and selling the stock or the house, and if they were profitable before or not. Here you can see everything. This is what I love to study. So in crypto, I started at the beginning just Bitcoin, and I understood everything about Bitcoin to the point that I translated and presented the white paper in French. And then after I started to study Ethereum, and then I started to know about on-chain analysis. And then when I discovered Solana, for me, it was easy to apply on-chain analysis because I studied it before. So it go always faster and easier to understand everything because you are looking for the same thing that you learned before. And those edges are what's going to help you compared to all the other players or all the other investors. But even I was doing all this work to understand where you could cheat to go on top of someone else, to go above the map, all those things. Because actually at that time you could cheat easily. They did not have really detection system. Well, they started to have one, I remember. But anyway, I never had time to cheat because I didn't know much about how to use a cheating or whatever. And then I wanted to play fairly. No, I'm kidding. If I knew how to cheat and not get caught, I would have tried it. I'm French. That's in the blood. And it's normal because on top of that, I was pretty bad at Counter-Strike. Now, how did I play it around? That's the thing. If you're bad at one thing, you can be good at other thing. Wow, that's really philosophical, like level 0 minus 10. No, but seriously, when I was addicted to video games, I was not even that good. But what I was good at is to make friends with other people that were really good, or at least better than me, which was not that complicated. That's why on Counter-Strike, what I love is to create my own server where we had our own team, and then it was a lot better. Like this, I could win because it's not only a game about skills on knowing how to aim, and then that's it. If you know this, there's always a big part about managing the people, acting as a team, and this is what can help. Actually, a lot of the other video games will be like that, where you need to help each other out. And we're going to come to this in a minute. But when you start to understand the deep things and how could people cheat, it's the same thing, for example, with meme coins, where for me, it will be a lot easier to see when there's a rug pull happening or when a bundle is happening, because I know how they work. I tested it myself and I know which program they're calling and how they're executing it, which is, again, something you need to go through if you want to be able to protect yourself from it. It's same if you had a house and you don't want to get robbed. You have to think like someone who wants to rob you. How would they do it? Would they cut the electricity line? Would they cut this? Would they do that? Would they break into the window? And then when you study everything, you can protect yourself. Now, everything is happening on chain, so we can see all the patterns. And that's the same thing. Massive fireworks happen just at the same time. So understanding on-chain mechanics give you an edge that 99% of the people don't have. And what I was saying that you don't even need to be good is that if you have a good team, then you can be good, but as long as you bring something, which brings us back to the first point, because if you're not specialized into anything and you don't know really much about anything, no one's going to contact you. But if you have deep knowledge into something, people are going to come to you. There's going to be, I know this is the guy for on-chain analysis. This is the guy to find wallets. This is the guy for the TikTok meta, which is where we go to the second part, because I did not play only Counter-Strike. I also played a bit of MMORPG. Now, I played 2 MMORPG, which one was World of Warcraft, but I played it wrongly. I played it on private servers because I was too broke to pay for the membership. And the second one is Dofus, that you probably don't know because I think it was popular only in France and it was magical. But that's why maybe France is a bit behind on the rest of the world now. I don't know. But when you play those games, you raid stuff together and you know that you can't do it alone. Like same if you play Call of Duty with your mates on the same TV against the computer, which is magical. After I stopped playing Counter-Strike, it was Call of Duty and then Battlefield, if you want to know the full series of games that I did. And probably I would be bad if I play now. But when you act together, again, everything is easier because you have to hit the same targets on the other side. And it doesn't matter if one killed 2, the other 3, and the other one 0, as long as everyone is dead on the other side. Well, here is the same thing because the market of meme coin is in a way, and same as crypto, non-competitive, because it's not the same as the gold rush. If, for example, I find a place where they have a lot of golden nuggets and I tell you, and then you come, you're going to take those and I don't have it no more. But if I find a coin that I think that can 10x, I can tell you, and that benefits me as well because you're going to buy either after me or at the same time. And then maybe you're going to tell someone else to buy, and then someone else, and then someone else, and then it's going to spread. So in a way, it's non-competitive. Now, we know that 40,000 coins get created every day, or even more. It's about 60,000. And how to find those? Yes, always the tool's going to help you. But imagine if you have the tools plus the right team of the right people, you can find the top ones and you're going to be, oh, this one is the one that's going to work. This one is a rug. That one they use fake Twitter. That one they use that. And that's exactly why I cheated again, because I created my own group, the Investors Boardroom, where I teach to people how to do all the on-chain analysis part. And guess what? It brings me profile that are specialized into other stuff. Like I have someone that is specialized in the TikTok meta. He understands the Gen Z better than anyone because he's in it. And that's how Om gave me Erasmus, and I made more than 20K on it. Or Smexer, which is a developer and smart contract guy, who when the ERC404, which was a new token at that time, he found it and told me, and then we knew how to swap faster than anyone and made a 50K out of that. Or my friend who is a market maker, who then knew that Hyperliquid was super good to be used and everything. And then I begged people on this channel to start to use Hyperliquid because I knew there would be a big airdrop. Well, the airdrop was minimum 5 figures for everyone and some 6 figures, 7 figures, and even more because the price went up. Now, because I didn't click on something, I missed that airdrop, but I got myself back, and that's another video where I ran it up 1K to 55K on that same platform. Again, I can prove it on chain. This is not like data that someone would say, oh, I did this. No, I show my wallet during it. I show the trades. It's proven. Because it's the same thing. You wouldn't think to go into an FPS of MMORPG just by yourself when people are literally going to be in team. Yeah, of course, you're going to go faster that way or that way, but you're going to get killed way easier. Even if you're the best, it's going to be way harder on yourself. So having people that specialize in each sections make it easier for you. And then you focus on your own thing. For example, on Rismus, when I said to home in the investors ballroom and say, okay, man, the top seller, the top holders, you see they're in profit about 400K, 500K. I saw him starting to sell. I said, sell now. We sold, it went down. And then there's other people like Adaptability, maybe that you saw some other lives here that knows more the Twitter meta. So everything that's happening on crypto Twitters, he will know what's going on. And I can't know everything that's happening on the market because I only have 2 eyes, right? And they're pretty beautiful. I'm kidding. They're gorgeous. That's why you should trade in a team in everything. Associate yourself. How can I build something? Same, I associate myself with other people that bring what I like knowledge on. And that's something, again, that you learn playing video games. No one tells you that at school. At school, they pay you up like nothing. Like everyone is paired up on the same math thing where everyone has like, someone is good, someone is worse. And then it is like, why we paired up on the same kind of work when we should literally pair up where one is a good artist, one is good at calculation, and boom, we create a cathedral. No, it doesn't make sense, but you see where I'm meaning. And that's not even the most important point of this video, because a lot of people are going to be, no, but Antoine, people do not have attention span now. It's always low and low. I disagree completely. This is the opposite. I think we never saw people spending more time on their screen now than ever before. So they focus their attention on that. The thing is, and that's the missing point of most of the people who talk about this, the attention economy, you have a limited quantity of attention. And their attention span, it's just they're going to locate it where they feel it's the best. And that's what I understood when I play video games, because I would hate to do my homework. I would hate to spend time in school because I was bored of my mind in it. I was like, why am I learning this way when I could learn it on the web and stuff like that? Way better explain. That teacher is whack. But I could play hours or the whole weekend on a video game. So when they were telling me that, or like, oh, Antoine, you have ADHD, you don't know how to focus in classroom. I don't know how to focus in classroom, bro. I know how to focus on my video game. How do you explain that? It's just my brain wants to choose the best source of dopamine, what he likes the most. Why he likes the video games? Because it's been literally engineered to have dopamine loops. Every movement, everything that happened, they will create animation. It's even worse now with the games they create today from the ones I used to play back then. Wow, that makes me really old here. And when you understand that, it's like, okay, if they engineer dopamine loops, why don't I do it for myself too? And what I want to be is just better and just level up every time to just gain knowledge, apply it, and get better. which will make you grow step by step like this. And the first trades I made in meme coins, I lost money. I thought I was better than everyone, went into 1 or 2 scams, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn and improve. And that's where you start to be, this week I'm gonna learn this. You go 1 level, then another thing, then another thing. And strangely, winning money activates a lot of dopamine as well. Losing it will activate the other feelings. And sometimes it's gonna go back down, which is the same as a video game. It could have an update, it could be a change, and then you don't like it no more, where you're gonna flatline for a while, and that's gonna be the hard part. Now, do you give up or not? Well, in anything, I think you've been stuck before on a video game. You've been stuck. And then you're like, it's hard, I don't know what to do now. But if you stick to it, then maybe you're gonna start to climb back up and to finish at an even higher level. And to be fair, my first favorite video game was Pokemon. And on Pokemon, I would spend an enormous amount of time just at the beginning into the grass. The first one they gave you. And I will beat up those chenipans. I don't even have the English word because I played in French, yes. In the French version, actually, Pikachu eats cheese. It's crazy. And then if you want to level up your Pokemon, you give him a baguette. And the thing is, that addiction was like, okay, I'm gonna grind here, so everything else become easier. You can do the same, literally. You can do the same, and like this, you go like a walk in the park. And what I like to measure in investment is pretty easy to measure your progress. Either your bank balance is going up or it's going down. It's straightforward. And because I know that in competition with everyone, if I see that my bank balance keep going down, I need to change. I need to change what I'm doing here because maybe I'm focusing on the wrong thing, or I don't know what I'm doing, or I have the wrong team, or I'm just not up for it. And that's something I want to talk about just after, because I need to share the addiction I had after video game, which was watching adult film. And when I watch what I do on camera, I know that I'm not really good at it, so I should rework that. But if I can't grow in one way by limiting skills or whatever, then I do another way. So for example, if on-chain analysis, you can't understand, it's too complicated for you, just go social media. If it's too complicated for you, just do the meta. And if it's too complicated for you, well, try to find people to surround yourself with and be a developer, be a nice guy or whatever it is. And if you can't do that, just pivot. Because video games, I would be getting destroyed today. I know that the new generation will beat me up so quickly. When I played video games, really not many people played video games. That's why I'm trading meme coins, because it's not that many people that trade meme coins, and it's all the retail people. The day the hedge funds and the guy with IQ with 4 digits that literally build trading algorithm to move trillions of dollars every day, they come. I don't know if they could. I'm not gonna play that game. Like, I'm not playing to trade Bitcoins because I know they have way more leverage. The whales can move. The exchange can move. Like, even some government states, they can say, tomorrow, we start to sell. And then it will move the market. So I have zero power into this. I cannot develop an edge. I can have a sense, be lucky at one time, but I cannot develop an edge. And having an edge is important. So that's why most of my friends, same order, he told me last time, man, I just buy video games with solo players now because they get destroyed online. It's just this generation, they're more prepared because there's more people in it. And it's probably one of the most competitive sport right now because not everyone will want to play football and cannot have the perfect physical condition, or same for Muay Thai, whatever it is. But pretty much everyone can move 2 thumbs on a phone or move a mouse on a computer. So when you see that there is an end, then you stop and you move. You put your ego back and you're like, okay, that's not my thing. I did not find. And then what you do is you branch out to something else. For example, everything I learn and apply to on-chain analysis, I know I can find other fields where this kind of data and this kind of mindset of trying to find the data that no one cares about, that makes the big difference, I can use it. And again, I would team up with other people to do it. And this without video games, I would have never known. So to my parents who confiscated me my Game Boy, my laptop so many times because I was not having good grades at school, because I was a school failure, well, you were wrong because you slowed down my growth. By this time, I could have maybe created an AI. And by that, I mean an end-to-end intelligence. For the 2% of the people that made this far in the video, when they had way better choices of video than a washed up Calvin Klein model with a broken English and a French accent that is horrible to listen. You know, a quote that applies all the time, I think it's from Bruce Lee. I'm not scared of the guy that knows 10,000 kicks. I'm scared of the guy that performed the same kick 10,000 times. You choose who you want to be, but I would love to know in the comments which game you were playing.